What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined by my dad, Sean. And today, reactions to the classics. We got another song battle coming courtesy to Dave's suggestion from our longtime friend and patron of the channel, Fran. So thank you, Fran, man, for bringing this. We're, as you can see at the bottom, starting with Billy Bragg's Think Again, a live version, actually.
Yes.
We like some Billy Bragg on here. I think
we do.
Fran might have been the guy to introduce us to him.
Yeah, we got a top 10 up of Billy as well.
So, always enjoy his songwriting. And that'll be going against War Music by Tempest, who I'm not familiar with. We're going to have a video, a live version of that up here to check out. So, looking forward to that. And, seems based on the title, it's going to be, maybe a little apropos for our times that we're living in 2022 here. But we will start with Think Again by Billy Bragg from his international record in 1990, his live record.
Yeah, and it was originally released on Bragg's short-lived record label, Utility Records. It's a deliberately political album consisting mainly of cover versions and rewrites of left-wing protest songs. Although Bragg is known for his association with left-wing causes, this release is unusual. Most of his recordings balance overtly political songs with social observation love songs. And maybe, Trey, that's why he released it on his own short-lived album, so no one could tell him he couldn't do it. But we're going to have the lyrics up, as always. Thanks again, Fran.
The song was written by a Scottish songwriter called Dick Dokken. It's called Think Again. You think that the Russians won war?
They do now.
These are the children of parents who died in the last one. Do you think that it's possible, knowing their past, that they'd ever consider repeating the last, when 20 million was slaughtered by Nazi invasion? They died fighting on our side, in a fight to defend humankind against Nazi terror and hatred. In the name of humanity bitterly torn, in the name of our children as yet to be born, before we do that which can never be undone, I beg of you, think again. And again, and again, and again, and again. Do you think that the Russians want war? These are the parents of children who died in the last one. Do you think that they'd want to go through that again? The destruction, the bloodshed, the suffering and pain. In the Second World War, out of every free dead, one was Russian. If we try with all of our power, can we not find a way to peacefully settle our difference? In the name of humanity bitterly torn, in the name of our children as yet to be born, before we do that which can never be undone, I beg of you, think again, and again, and again, and again, and again. The Russians want war. Will the voice of insanity lead you to total destruction? Will you stumble to death as though you were blind? Will you cause the destruction of all humankind? Will you die because you don't like their political system? There will be no survivors, no one left to scream in the night and condemn our stupidity. In the name of humanity humanity bitterly torn, and the name of our children has yet to be born. Before we do that which can never be undone, I beg of you, think again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
Billy Bragg going with his politically charged self here, man, on Think Again, asking a lot of questions out here, Dad, in this track. And I always do enjoy the live versions, too. You hear the crowd at the beginning and end. Just kind of had a bit of that low-key electric guitar going. Sometimes would roar up in between verses, but really just letting his voice and lyrics shine.
That was the point I was going to make exactly. Real low-key on the arrangement. It worked. With what he did with that's why I was looking there at the end of the year. This album came out in 1990. The Cold War had ended, but I'm assuming he wrote this during the Cold War at the time. Like, do you really think the Russians want to go to war?
Yeah.
As you said, it's appropriate. As we film this right now, the Russians have invaded Ukraine and been there for over a month at this point. But remember, it's the Russian government, not the Russian people. He's talking about the Russian people. So he's just talking about how he's talking to the UK people, but it's the same for us as US. We were all allied forces in World War II, just to give you a little history lesson, whether you wanted one or not. But Russia wasn't on our side initially, but then Hitler invaded them, and funny how that changes. Then they were on our side, and he even mentions 20 million Russians died. 1 out of every 3 people that died in World War II was a Russian. Now, actually, the number's really closer to 1 and 2, because the number's really about 45 million that were killed. So it's really closer to 1 in every 2. And so, and that's kind of what turned them to be communist and so hardened, because they lost so many people. But, he's saying, don't blame the people. Let's not jump into this thing. We're all humans on sharing this same earth. So I thought it was a good song.
No, for sure. I like that. In the name of humanity, bitter and torn, in the name of our children has yet to be born. Before we do that, which can never be undone. I beg of you, think again. There, we obviously hit our title, and it is an interesting thing where you can be fuming at the unjustness of the Russian government and Putin and all of this, but a lot of the actual Russian people, don't want that.
No,
but
not
they,
at all.
If you speak out, you're going to get taken and jailed or worse. So
and what you just read is really powerful too, because it's like when these people make this choice to go to war, you're not only affecting you and your generation, you're affecting future generations that don't even exist yet with those decisions that you make. So really makes you think.
No, definitely. And these are the parents of children who died in the last one. Kind of bringing all the generations together right there, so to speak, man. So powerful tune. I didn't expect anything less from Mr. Billy Bragg right there. And now we're going to shift gears a little bit to Kate Tempest and her song War Music. An English spoken word performer, poet, recording artist, novelist, playwright. I don't know if she has many hobbies after being able to do all that.
And she's no longer known as Kate Tempest. So if you're watching this, you know she's known as K-A-E Tempest. But at the time this was done, still Kate Tempest. And we're going to be watching it over on YouTube.
Daddy is a soldier, son. Your daddy's gone to war. His steady hands, they hold his gun. His aim is keen and sure. Your daddy's in the desert, in the darkness and the dust, and he is fighting for his country, son. He's doing it for us. Your daddy's coming home soon, not long now till he's back, and we can dress you in your smartest shirt and meet him down the track, and he will put you on his shoulders, and you will clap and sing and laugh, and I will throw my arms around him and feel him close to me at last. Your dad ain't left the house again. Your dad ain't brushed his teeth. Your dad keeps getting angry, and at nights he doesn't sleep. He's been having nightmares, and he seems worn out and weak. And yes, I've tried to be there for him, but we barely even speak. It's like he don't know what to say to me. He don't know how to tell it. He's won medals for his bravery, but he just wants to forget it. He's drinking more than ever. I can hear him cry when I wake wake up in the night and I feel him shaking at my side. But he spoke to me at last, my son, he turned to me in tears. And I put my face real close to his and I asked him what he feared. He said, it keeps getting nearer, it hasn't disappeared. He says, I see it even clearer, now the sand and smoke has cleared. There was a kid he got to know, young, just turned 18. Good kid, his name was Joe, he kept his rifle clean. Now Joe's girlfriend was expecting, Joe was smart, Joe liked to laugh, and Joe marched in front of your old man as they patrolled the path. Here's the thing, everything was quiet, suddenly they heard a blast. Then the man that marched in front of Joe was completely blown apart, and some shrapnel hit Joe in the face, gouged out both eyes at once. The last thing those eyes ever saw was the man in front, you know, was limbs and flesh and bone and blood ripped up and thrown around. After that, just blackness, blindness, the taste, the stink, the sound. And look, I tell you this, my son, because I know what you are like. As soon as you've grown old enough, you'll want to go and fight. In whatever battle needs you, you'll want to pledge your blood and bone. Not in the name of good or evil, but in the name of home. Your dad believes in what he fights for. He fights for you and I. But the men that send the armies in won't ever hear us cry. I don't support the war, my son, I don't believe it's right. But I do support the soldiers that go off to war to fight. Troops just like your daddy's sons, soldiers through and through, who wear their uniform with pride and do what they are told to do. So when you're grown, my sweet, my love, please don't go fighting wars. Fight the men that start them, or fight for a cause that's yours. It seems so full of honor, so valiant, so bold. But the men that send the armies in do it in the name of gold, or else for reasons we can't know. And then they tell us it's for Britain. And then the men come home like daddy, angry, and spend their days just drinking, trying to get perspective on the thoughts they can't stop thinking, while their sons stare at their daddy's chests and watch the medals twinkling.
There you have it, folks. War music. Kate Tempest bringing it in, man. Shout out to her as well for repping the MF Doom shirt.
Yes.
She was channeling like she was MF Doom right there. One of my favorite rappers of all time. And she had some unbelievable enunciation. She was spitting lyrics so quick at us, man, and almost every line had a meaning right here too.
Yeah, channeling her inner Robert Zimmerman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
inner Bob Dylan.
I was thinking Masters of War with some of the stuff she was
she's
talking
basically
about.
calling out the war machine of it. You know, telling the story to this son that, you know, his dad came back from the war all messed up. I'm assuming the Iraqi conflict at this time. You know, obviously the U.S. sent the greatest amount of troops, but the U.K. also sent. You know, everybody pays that price that, you know, oftentimes that we do living in America, that we decide to get involved in. We drag our allies into it, and man, the ramifications of that. You know, and I think she's talking about how they come back all messed up, and it's not that they're fighting. You know, first she says they're fighting for our country. Later on, she says, you know, she doesn't believe in it. She supports the soldiers, not the war.
Yeah, I thought that was
absolutely perfect. But that they come back and the leaders are fighting for the gold. It's not about anything else. Not about, you know, like they're over there fighting for our freedom. I didn't know we were being attacked by them. Did you know that? I didn't know we were. So like, it's one of those things, man. But it's just so powerful.
No, and I love too the video with the arrangement. You know, Kate going in, it was so passionate, and then you have just the low key kind of piano.
Yeah, she calls
and
them in, and then she kind of calls them off and finishes out. Yeah,
and such command and just such a power in the delivery and the lyrics. So you kind of had that 1-2 punch right there, and you know, just ramping up at certain points that really you know, the song needed, you know, just to be like, oh wow, this is a serious issue that I need to really cue in. You know, just, and she talked too about somebody who went blind, you know, and the last thing he saw was the person he was fighting in front of, both the eyes gouged out, and you know, for what at the end of the day, kind of is the questions is asked there. So you know, both these tracks that Fran brought to us really, you know, stir up those questions of just the war machine, and just you know, how much further we have to go just as a society, and you know, as war is obviously still so much around us. So all that to say, man, we are now to our winner of this battle, this war themed song battle right here. What you thinking here, Dad?
I thought the Billy Bragg song was great, but I got to go with Kate, or now Kay, Tempest, man. I mean, that was just, that was unbelievable, man.
Dude, I'm going Tempest as well.
That was great.
I mean, I don't know if the video is well added, something, but I just think,
like you said something during when you were talking about every line had a meaning.
Yeah. And yeah, I just love the fiery delivery that was brought forth on that track.
Painted that picture.
So, cheers to Fran again for introducing us to another artist to put on our radar here. And let us know down below, y'all, your thoughts on this battle. Who do you have coming out on top? Both very strong songs, man. Fran, again, hit this one out of the park.
For sure.
And if you'd like to support the channel in any way, you can check out our Patreon page down below. We can hook up a song battle or reaction for you, but also hitting that big red subscribe button and thumbs up is helpful as well. But until next time, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and we will see you.